Hello, my name is Teresa Collins, and I am an Executive Council member for AARP Illinois. AARP, a nonprofit, nonpartisan member organization, has been working to promote the health and well-being of older Americans for more than 60 years. AARP Illinois is proud to represent all those who are 50 plus in Illinois and our 1.7 million members. And we thank you for the opportunity to be your wise friend and fierce defender. Our mission is to enhance the quality of life for all as we age, leading positive social change and delivering value to members through advocacy, service, and information. At AARP, we know that staying fit is one of the pillars of healthy living, and we want to help you on your fitness journey. Physical activity can boost memory, improve thinking, and even lower dementia risk. It's not too late to start. AARP is proud to offer today's virtual event to start or continue you on your fitness journey. Have a wonderful class and enjoy.
Hi, I'm Mike Mitchell. I'm from Peoria, Illinois, here at 5 Points, Washington, helping out AARP to do a clinic. We have Joyce from Chillicothe, Karen from Washington, and Gary from Washington. All right, even though you may learn pickleball, you still want to do some drills to make yourselves better. So one of the drills we like to do is what we call the dink game. So that basically everything we do is going to be in the kitchen. If it's outside of the kitchen, that's considered out of bounds. And we're just going to play a regular game to generally also, I want to bring this up too. A game is generally played to 11, win by 2. Okay, so here's the drill. Everything has to stay in the kitchen. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So then we'll switch. And that's basically the dink drill. That's good. Another drill we'll do, it's basically with one person. We'll do what we call the fast volley drill, which basically we're going to be at the line and we're just going to keep the ball out of the air and just hitting it back and forth. Also in pickleball, one of the most important shots is called the third shot drill, which basically, since me and Gary are back and I'm serving, so I'll serve it to Karen. Karen has to let the ball bounce once. When she hits it back to us, we have to let the ball bounce. So then by that time, Karen and Joyce are up at the kitchen line already. So now we have to make our way to the kitchen line, which we have a couple of options. We could lob it over their heads, or we could try to blast it at them and they could hit the ball to us, but they've got all this ground to cover. So the next thing we need to do is do what we call the third shot drop, which is to drop it into the kitchen, which they have to let it bounce, and it gives us more time to get to the kitchen. So the drill for that is, we're going to try to get the ball into the kitchen, and then that person is going to feed it back to us, just like we're imitating the third shot drop. Yeah, we want to stay back. So that's that drill. Now, if you really want to get tricky, you can try doing spins. Okay? It might be hard to catch on camera, But instead of hitting the ball flat like we usually do, you actually are slicing the ball. And that gives it a lot of rotation, so that sometimes when it hits the floor, it'll jump one way or the other. So instead of hitting the ball flat like that, it's gonna look more like and you can do them backhanded too. So instead of flat like that, it's gonna be more of a cut. Okay, so the next thing is you can do what we call a lob, which we're going to try to lob it over the person's head so it makes them go back and run and get the ball and get them out of position. So let's say we're dinking around, and then so that makes one person get out of, and then boom, we have it right there. Okay, so in case somebody does lob you, then it's good for your partner to cover them and then they take your position. So what we'll do, we'll say switch. So if the ball is going over Gary's head, I'll go and get it, get the ball, and then I can take his place. So you're not stuck on your side of the court. Oh, that's another thing too. In that situation there, if the ball hits the net and were to hit the pole, that would be a redo. When you're serving, if our team is serving, I can hit any line, point them out, Karen. I can hit any line except for the kitchen line. I can hit the side line, I can hit the center line, I can hit the back line. But if I hit the kitchen line, that's a fault, okay? Well, only while you're serving. Any other time, lines are good. Also, if I hit the net when I'm serving, if it falls into her court, it's still good. If it falls into the kitchen or out of bounds, it's a fault. All right, so let's say we're playing and the ball hits this post here and goes in, that's out of bounds. If it hits the net, it's good. If it hits this somehow and goes around, also there's a thing called the around the post shot. So let's say, for example, Karen hits a ball, it bounces here and it comes out this way. I can actually hit the ball around the post. It doesn't have to go over the net. Some people, they'll maybe run in place just to get the legs and the blood moving, or they'll do toe stretches or side stretches, or a lot of people will get up against the wall and just hit the ball to warm up their backhands and forehands. Just depends on, some people have certain problems, maybe hips or knees. Maybe their therapist has told them to do certain exercise. So it's kind of dependent on what they feel comfortable doing. But it is good to warm up before a match. And also it's good to actually get shoes that are designed for side-to-side movement rather than joggers that are designed to go straight forwards, because you can twist your ankle. A couple other safety precautions is some people will wear glasses or safety glasses. We've had a few people who have had black eyes. I actually had a scratch retina, even though I had on glasses. I still had a scratch. Sometimes I'll wear a mouthpiece. We've had people with chipped teeth. Also, if a ball rolls into your court or another court, yell ball. Stop people from playing, because we've had people twist ankles, break ankles. If there's a lob, it's better to turn around and run to get it rather than to run backwards. We've had people trip and fall and break their wrists and arms. So those are a few safety things. There's also a backhand serve that you can use. Using the same principle, making contact below the waist, paddle head beneath the wrist. So when you're hitting the ball, all right, you pretty much want to try to keep the ball and the paddle ahead of you. So basically your shots are going to be like this. Usually like in tennis, if it's a backhand, the same foot that you have your paddle with, you're going to swing. With your forehand, it's basically going to be the opposite. Swing. So you got your backhand and your forehand. When you're up at the kitchen line, this is what I call the ready position. This way you can block a lot of shots coming at you, and then you go to your forehand. So a lot of times when you're at the kitchen, you really don't have to do that stepping because you have the kitchen line there that you don't want to step into. So a lot of times you're just working this way, side to side, reaching and reaching. Swing, swing, swing. But if it's like a rally volley, then you want to step into it and swing. Okay. Usually when I'm teaching pickleball, I'll tell people that the forehand is the wax on, the backhand wax off. So you have the wax on, wax off. Most pickleball is going to be side-to-side motion, because if we're at the kitchen line and we're covering, most of the time it's going to be this way. We're going to be covering because there's going to be a lot of dinking, what we call dinking in the kitchen. And that's when the ball lands in the kitchen. So basically we're going to be moving laterally. Sometimes we have to go back to get a lob, but generally speaking, we're going to be right back up there in a lot of side-to-side motion. And usually it's just a few steps because this is 10 feet that way, 10 feet here. So as you can see, it doesn't take much to cover the whole court on each side. That's why a lot of seniors like pickleball, because we don't have to do a lot of running like in tennis. We can cover the whole court. Probably 97% of pickleball is playing doubles and not singles. So it's a very social game, and you can get quite a few games in just by playing pickleball because you have a partner that you're playing with. Generally speaking, most places have what they call open play. So basically, you can look up on that usapa.org website, see where there's open play pickleball. It'll tell you how much it is, how many courts they have, what type of court. And a lot of times you just show up. People, they may have a rack of paddles. You put your paddles down, and they may tell you how they rotate. Some people will say you play a game, all four go in, and all four come out. Some will say if you win, your partner split, and then you bring two new players out. So like I said, most times when you look at the USAPA website or on Facebook, find a place to play. A lot of times they'll have how they rotate play in, but generally you go there during open play time. You come in, you don't need a partner most of the time, and you just lay your paddle down and they'll kind of instruct how you should go in. Sometimes it might be you play a game, all four people come in, all four people go out. Here we'll do win or split. If we win, me and Gary are split, we'll call out two new players. But you can only win or be out on the court for 2 games. So since that's my second game, I'm going to automatically go out. If my partner loses, then we go out. And since that person, Gary, was over there and it's his second game, he'll go out. So that one person will call for 3. That's too technical. Let me just make it simpler. Basically, get on USAPA, find open play, and then go out, and then they'll tell you how to rotate in. And you don't need a partner, generally speaking, and you just join in and enjoy the game. Generally, outdoors, it's pretty much free. Indoors, you kind of have to see what the facility is charging. Some places may charge $5, maybe $10. Some people, places, they may have a punch card that you can buy, but generally, if you're playing outdoors, it's almost, I don't think I've ever paid outdoors. Indoors, depends on if it's a YMCA, whatever their day pass is, so that can fluctuate quite a bit. That might be subjective. We have people who'll say they like the gym floor because it has a little bit more give. Just had a guy yesterday saying that he liked outdoors better because it was more stable and better grip. So that's going to be pretty much subjective.